What's up, you guys? Today I'm going to teach you how to create some jazzy goodness. Where it comes from, why it works, how to use it in your own playing. It does take some music theory, so put on your nerd glasses and let's go to school. Alright, so let's talk about what the heck I was doing. What I'm doing whenever I'm playing, what I just played is I'm playing obviously some different sounding chords, some jazzy sounding chords. And so those come from somewhere. In this lesson, I'm going to go into where those come from, so that way you know when you can use them and when you, I guess, can't as well. My goal is to get you to not need these videos, to not need me, to not need anybody. You can just sit there and just create amazingness. If I can do it, you can do it. Believe me, I was no good at this theory stuff, but we are going to go to the theory stuff. Yes, this is a whiteboard because this is a music school where I'm at, and this is just kind of how I do it. Sorry if I'm old-fashioned, but hang on, I promise you you're going to get a lot of value. What I want to do is I want to go through kind of where these jazzy chords come from, and so it starts with the major scale. I'm hoping you guys can see that at home. The major scale is important, it's where everything comes from. So we have whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half. That right there is the foundation of it all. Every song you've ever heard in your life comes from that, believe it or not. At least in Western music. If you're in an Indian country, maybe not. I don't know. There's some different scales there. So the point is, but this is where most music comes from. Let's go ahead and talk about what it is. The W stand for whole, the H's stand for half. What a whole step is it's 2 frets. That's a 2-fret interval, specifically. It describes the space between, if you will. So if I'm on, let's say, a C, 3rd fret A string, and I want to go up a whole step, I go up 1, 2 frets. That's what that is. Okay. If I want to do an H or a half step, well, a half of a whole is obviously going to be just 1 fret. So a half step is 1 fret. There's our half. There's our whole step. Okay? With me so far? Not falling asleep? Not skipping ahead? Trust me, stay with it. Alright, excellent. So we're going to go ahead and fill in some blanks here. This allows us to play any major scale that we want. Out of the 12 notes, I'm going to arbitrarily pick C for a reason. It's an easier key, it's a good place to start. So what that means is I'm going to start with a C. I'm going to put it over here. And then I'm going to go up a whole step. That gives me a D. I'm on the A string, by the way. So I went from the 3rd fret A string, the note of C, up a whole step to D. And then from there I need to do another whole step. It's the interval, right? So I go up to E. Half step from that is an F. I hope you're playing with me. Whole step from F, what is it? G. You got it. Whole step from G. A. I'm running out of space here, but I'll be alright. I'll make it. Alright, whole step from there. That's a B. And then finally, I don't know why my nose is so itchy. The 15th fret here is the note of C again. That's where we have returned home. It always goes back around where it began. And that is essentially what's called an octave, by the way. We went 8 notes up. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 octave, right? That's how important this major scale is. Even the language of music is based on it. Everything is based on it. So, if you don't know it already, get into it, learn it, trust me. Cornerstone of all the cool stuff that I was just doing. Alright, where am I going with this? Well, check this out. They were like, alright, cool, we have these notes. We can do stuff like this. Whatever, right? And just create melody with it. I know that didn't sound any good, but I could make it sound great. Or whatever, right? And so that's just these notes. And that's the scale, okay? Now, they realized, well, these are great and all, but what if we start doing some stuff with these? What if we start combining these notes together? What will happen? And so what they did, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite these a little bit bigger here. is they stack these, okay? And thirds is what they call it. So they took a C, stacked an E, and then stacked a G. That's a third. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And that C, E, G is a C major. In any key, any instrument, anywhere. A C, E, and a G note together is always C major chord. I can play that in a lot of different places, but we'll just go the open chords for now. Okay, and then they were like, awesome, that sounded really cool. Let's just keep that thing going. And they did D, F, and A. So it's going to get kind of messy here in a second, but I'll keep doing this. That gave them a D minor. Then they did E, G, B. That gave them an E minor. Okay. Then they did F, I'm going to come up top here, A, and then whoop, all the way back around to C. That's F major, bro. So far we have C, D minor, E minor, F major. Then they did G, B, D, that's G major. I'm just stacking thirds here, okay? I'm just skipping a note. That's all I'm really doing. That gave me G major. Then they stacked A, C, and E. That gave me A minor. I must quit drawing lines. I'm just running out of whiteboard at this point. And then they did B, skipped over the C to D, skipped another one to F. B, D, F gave them a B diminished. We're not going to play that today. Not going to really get into it, but it is this chord here. Okay, it sounds kind of dreadful, right? But check out what that sounds like whenever I play it all together. I'm going to play this chord, C, D minor, E minor, F, G, A minor, B diminished, and then I'll come back around to home to a C. Check this out. Didn't sound so bad after all, okay? So we're not going to go into why, but the point is that's where all your chords come from, and as a songwriter, you can just start playing with those chords right now and go... Right? And I can mix it up in any order, start with any chord, and I'm going to sound good. I can just pick two chords. I can pick F to G. Ooh, if I can play. Might sound like a little song. It doesn't matter. Okay, so that right there is kind of level one. You can already create a lot of cool stuff with that. But where do the jazz chords come from? Well, that comes from that next level, the next third. Okay? So if I stack C, E, and G together, just skipping a note, and I stack another one, a B, that actually gives me a C major 7. This is jazz territory, and it sounds like this. Or we can do another voicing. Right? So you're like, ah, you like it. I know you like it. Okay. And then D, F, A, skip it, okay, to C. So that gives me a D minor 7. Gives me this. That's kind of cool. Like a sexy jazzy chord, right? E, G, B, D gives me E minor 7. Here's the boring way. A more interesting way, I think, is this one. It's kind of cool. Another voicing. E minor 7. And then we have F, A, C, E will always give me F major 7. I'm hoping you guys can see that at home. And that's this. Okay. And there's a bunch of ways to play it. I'll play another one. Okay. Then G, B, D, and F will always give me a G7, also known as a G dominant 7. Or another voicing might be here in the open position. And then A, C, E, G will always give me an A minor 7. Any key, any instrument, I can walk in and the piano and do the same stuff, play those notes, I've got an A minor 7. Sounds like that. Or like that. B, D, F, A will always give me a B minor 7 flat 5. Now I know that sounds like a lot. It's also known as a half diminished. We're not going to go into that, but that sounds like this. That's actually a little bit easier on the ears than the full diminished, right? Which is a little bit more dreadful. A little softer, right? And here's what that all sounds like if I just play it in order, going from a C major 7 all the way through back to a C major 7. Check this out. I'll go slow. Nice, right? Well, that is where jazz basically kind of starts, if you will. And you can use these chords interchangeably. So what I did earlier in the video is I actually picked a D minor 7. Then I picked a G major, the G dominant 7. It's different from a major 7, so don't get that confused. And then I played a C major 7. And I just basically do this. Jazz comping thing. We're not going to get into that today, but that sounded great, and I was able to create some magic with just a C major scale, just these notes on top of it. Okay, one more time. Here it is. Or whatever, right? And I'm just playing those notes in a random order, more or less, and it sounds great. Now, the final thought I want to leave you with is you can put these anywhere, okay? So if I'm playing a chord progression, let's just say I'm looking up a song, or maybe I'm a songwriter and I've created a chord progression I did earlier. I did C, E minor, F, and G. I did this. I could go full jazz on you and play these instead. C major 7, E minor 7, F major 7, G 7. It sounds like this. And that's fine. Going full jazz mode. Or I can just kind of be more clever or, you know, subtle with it. And maybe I'll do an E minor 7 instead of an E minor. Here's what that would sound like. C major, E minor 7, F major, and G major. Did you catch it? Maybe I'll do an F major 7 in there as well, okay? Instead of the F. Isn't that cool? And I can be even more clever about it. Maybe I'll just stay with C, E minor, F, and G, but maybe I'll just kind of like tinker with the major 7, the note that makes it major 7. So maybe with a C, I'll lift that first finger and I'll play the open B. That B, C, E, G, B. That's the note that gives it that major 7 thing. So check this out. Maybe I'll do this. Whoa, that's kind of cool, right? E minor, it's the note of E, G, B, D. That's the one that I can use, which happens to exist right here. Right? I'm just kind of, you know, playing around with it. Watch. Watch, here we go, try again. Whoa, I got some cool stuff happening. F major 7, maybe I'll just go for it. Now I've got some really interesting sounding chord progressions that are really just C, E minor, F, G, the basic, your standard, but I'm playing with that jazzy feel by adding in those notes. And there's many different levels to this. The point I wanted you to get from it is that you have options, and this is where kind of the jazzy stuff begins. Feel free to experiment with it, go down that rabbit hole, and dig into the theory stuff. Trust me, it will always benefit you as a musician no matter where you're at. I hope this video gave you a lot of value. I hope you got a lot from it. Please like, subscribe, the whole bit, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.